Okay. All right. Well, Jeff, should we get started, you think?
Sure. What time is it? 5:01? 7:01 Eastern?
7:01. Yep. All right. Well, let's do it. I'll get us kicked off here. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Cook Agency corporate overview. We're ready for you to join our next decade of growth. If you feel like this would be a good fit for you, we're all here because someone shared this with us and we saw the value in it. And so we're excited to be able to share this with you tonight. My name is Betsy Barr, and I'm direct to Mark Newbauer, one of the newest agency owners in the Cook Group, and I'm based in Knoxville, Tennessee. I've been with Symmetry since April 2019. I was doing it part-time while I was also a math teacher here in Knoxville after my family and I had lived overseas for about 7 years. And anyways, just fell in love with Symmetry and all that they have to offer, specifically debt-free life is kind of my niche, what I love to do. I use math to help people get out of debt, and I think that's pretty fun, but I'm kind of a nerd like that. So anyways, just thrilled to be here. I've been doing this full-time since August, and I'm just really excited about what Symmetry has allowed me to do, how it's allowed me to invest in my family and my community. And so just really excited to share all that it can do and see how it might be able to have a positive impact on your life as you seek to make a positive impact in your community. So Jeff is my illustrious co-host. He is just absolutely killing it here at Symmetry. And I'm just so honored, honestly, to be able to host this with you, Jeff. And so I'll let you introduce yourself and get us started.
Well, thank you, Betsy. I appreciate that. You didn't mention that you're the DFL queen either.
Well, thank you.
You are crushing it in the DFL world on the national leaderboard. Yeah, awesome stuff.
Yeah, that was definitely you don't do it for the leaderboards, but wow, that was pretty exciting to see that.
Yeah, you don't, but it's sure nice to see your name on there, right?
Yeah, I won't lie. Yes.
Yeah. Well, my name is Jeff Miller. I am here in this great state of Arizona, and I've been with Symmetry for, a year and a few months. I started on a very limited part-time basis. I actually owned a property and casualty agency for about 10 years, actually. Mm-hmm. Sold home and auto insurance along with a little bit of life insurance. And I really was looking for some, actually a greater opportunity. I had a nice six-figure income. I was doing well in most standards. But I was looking really for something where I could have time and money. And really, when I started doing my research on Symmetry and what it can offer with the income potential was much greater than what I had before. And having that time and money both just didn't exist. So really excited about Symmetry. I did go full-time back in July. So I've been full-time with Symmetry now for about 6 or 7 months, and just loving it. Just loving it and excited about the future for me and my team and just what's happening. So that's about me. So now we're going to talk about Symmetry. And why Symmetry? These are some of the things that I was looking at that were important to me: the ability to work for ourselves, but not by ourselves. The mentorship and the training from the company and the people that we work with. We all work together as a team. They have a turnkey business model. That's why their success has been so great. You'll see it later in here, but just their success, because it's turnkey, you can step into this and just follow the instructions and the guide and just be willing to put the work in. Culture, strong core values, leadership development, ability to scale our income with no caps on earning potentials. When we get into the earning potentials, super exciting. Time and money, talked about that. Support from home office. And prior to me coming into the insurance industry, I was in the mortgage industry for 20 years. And the reason why I got out is because several recessions. This business is recession resistant. So super good thing. And about it, who is Symmetry Financial Group? That's what we're going to talk about here tonight. How do we do it? How are we doing? How do we find our clients? How do we support our agents? How do we get paid? What makes Symmetry different? And again, that's what we're going over here tonight with you guys. Inc. ranked ranked Symmetry among the top 5,000 for 5 years running, 2016 through 2020, voted top company culture by Entrepreneur. This was a big thing for me in 2017 and 2018. The company that I worked for before was a great company, but the culture was not even close to how great the culture of the three owners of this company is. Mm-hmm. And speaking of the three owners, here's the three owners that started this company. You have Brandon Ellison, Casey Watkins, and Brian Pope. When I first took a look at this business, I was actually able to sit down with Brian Pope, just happened to, one of the owners. He was here in Arizona at a conference that I stopped at. And yeah, I know. I was like, I had no idea who he was. He was just sitting down afterwards, and we were talking, 4 or 5 of us, and just transparent, open, and just going over this company. And yeah, I was asking questions, and then I found out later he was the owner. So I'm like, wow, that's
that is really cool, Jeff. I don't think I knew that. Now I'm
yeah, it was a pretty cool thing. Yeah, just like I said, you would have never known just from talking to him that he was one of the 3 owners of the company that started it. So pretty neat culture that they have, for sure.
Yeah, I think I remember one of the things that really drew me here was we were having like a conference call, and now we do everything by Zoom, but it used to be conference calls, and so Brandon was talking about an advisory board meeting that they had just had, and about how there was, I don't even remember exactly the specifics, but about something that they could do, but it kind of wouldn't necessarily, maybe some other companies were considering it, but it wasn't like 100% great for agents or great for families. And he was like, so that's not something that we do. We don't cut any corners. We're not going to do anything that's not good for our agents and for our families that we work for. And that was for me something that really just like, oh man, I know I'm at the right place. Like, we've got people who do the right thing when no one's looking. And that's actually one of our core values. And yeah, I love that about Symmetry.
Yeah, they do definitely put the agents and the customers first. And the last company I worked for didn't necessarily do that. So it's super exciting to see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Who is Symmetry Financial Group? Quilty is the new umbrella that Symmetry is under. We have Symmetry and Assura. They're really expanding with their growth and just really adding a lot more opportunity as you see as we go through this, but really just to prepare the growth that this company is having. They're just doing some amazing things. Mm. And
I'll take over here. So what is it exactly that we do? So I know when I first started at Symmetry, like I said, I was a math teacher. And so I've always been like in the education world, and, thinking about insurance, I was like, I know that I need this, but kind of what does Symmetry actually do? And so really what Symmetry does at its essence is we help families protect their largest asset, which is their ability to earn an income. So that's what we do. We help protect families during times when to prepare for the times when they would be most vulnerable, when it could hurt them the worst if someone lost their income, whether that's through loss of life or some sort of disability or a major health condition. We're here to kind of help people protect themselves from those situations. And for just being very transparent, we had to come back from overseas because of health issues within our family. And so I really felt that need of, hey, that is our biggest asset, is the ability to earn an income. And that's what had me looking for something more. And so I really believe in this. I really know what a difference it can make for a family to have that stability and security, and just for my own family. And I love being able to provide that for the families that I work for and serve. And so here, I mentioned a couple of these. So what are some of the different things? How do we do that? How do we help families protect their largest asset? Of course, there's life insurance. We've got all different types, term, universal, whole, final expense. Our bread and butter is mortgage protection, making sure that families can stay in their home if one of the breadwinners were to pass away. We do health. And one of the biggest ones that's really growing in our company, especially this past year with so much ups and downs in the market and in the economy, the asset management and wealth strategies that we offer, one of which is debt-free life that I'm super passionate about. These, the ones that we offer, these are things that are guaranteed, that have a lot of stability with them. One of the things we say is, hey, we don't have a license that allows us to lose people money. We can only help people gain money, which I found that a lot of my clients like to hear. And so that's a big plus there. But so these are just some of the things that that with with your insurance license, and as you come on board with Symmetry, you have access to all of these through the Symmetry system. And then also, just kind of as an added bonus, not something that is kind of very common, but what we do have are group plans for employers. And I've actually began to use explore some of these as I've been working with debt-free life in businesses, for people that are looking for something for all their employees. And so it's just amazing how much we have to offer here at Symmetry, and that's very exciting. So like I was saying, you're as soon as you come on board here with Symmetry, you've got access to over 30 top-rated insurance carriers. And like I said, I was from the education world. I didn't really know, when I say I didn't know much about insurance, I mean, I didn't know anything about insurance, but I had heard of Gerber Life, and I had heard of Mutual of Omaha, and I knew those were kind of large names. And so, there's just a lot of we get to kind of stand on the shoulders of giants and help as many families as we can. And so, is there a need for our products? Well, yes, in a nutshell, that's the answer. But just kind of going through this real quick, there's 119, almost 120 million households in America. And of those, 70% of households rely on two incomes. And so, that's a good statistic, but let's look at what that means practically, right? So what that means is, if one of those two incomes is lost, what's going to happen to that family? What's going to happen to that home? And so, we see, hey, if you're looking at foreclosures where people are losing their homes, over 50% of those are because of a death or disability of one of those primary income breadwinners. We look in and consider that 45% of Americans have nothing saved for retirement. As I'm talking with people for debt-free life, one of the things we talk about is, what does retirement look like for you? What do you hope retirement will look like? And the difference between what they hope and what is currently planned for retirement is extremely vast. And so we get to help bridge that gap and help them see, hey, here's some ways that you can have the retirement that you're hoping for in a way that's safe, that's secure, and you can have a lot of stability in planning for your future. We also help with final expense. Funeral costs are over $10,000 easily. Jeff, I don't know about you, but I feel like on Facebook, so all the time I'm seeing GoFundMe's for this funeral or, for this medical need. And every time I see it, my heart breaks, because I know the kind of financial pressure that family has to be in. And I just think, man, I didn't get to them soon enough. I could have helped them avoid that. And that just kind of makes me more passionate about helping more people. And as we talk with families and see that, yeah, there are so many families that just rely on Social Security, and they're struggling and they're hurting. And we're able to meet those needs. We're able to have an impact on our community. And, Jeff, like, that is my heart. That's my passion, is to make a positive impact on other people in my community, in America, around the world, wherever. And so I love the fact that I get to do that right here at Symmetry Financial.
Yeah, no, I agree for sure.
So then, of course, how are we doing? We do this. We get to make this positive impact. We get to help families at their point of need. And the reality is that as you do that, as you're making that positive impact, you're not just helping the family, that you're serving, you're also helping yourself, and you're helping your own family. And so here, when you could look at Symmetry from when we started in 2009, all the way up to 2019, sorry, my math background's coming in. That's an exponential curve.
Yeah.
I would, I could give my students this and say, let's track that data. But so we're growing exponentially from year to year. And honestly, this is just the tip of the iceberg for what we have to offer here. And so, anyways, if this is something that you're like, hey, I love making a positive impact in my community. I also love the thought of really having a positive impact on my family's bank account, and also just being able to be there more for my family. Then, Symmetry might just be a great fit for you. And so, Jeff, why don't you share some other things that we have to offer here at Symmetry?
Yeah, I was just going to go back to what you were talking about too. Is one of the exciting things for me is, obviously COVID's affected a lot of people last year in jobs, and our slide doesn't show, but 2020, we actually did better than 2019 in a market where things kind of fell apart for a while.
I know.
And it's really because of the true leadership of the agent, the owners, but also the agents, because of the agency owners. So it's when you look at 2019 and see that 2020 is even a greater number that hasn't been updated yet on our slides, that's pretty exciting stuff.
It really is. I mean, and so again, here, just a quick snapshot, so some people see those numbers and they're like, oh, well, how could I fit in? Could I even, contribute in that? Is there a place for me still? Well, right now, like we're only at like maybe 5% of the total market capacity. And so do we need more people? Yeah, we need people, because there's families out there that are looking for help. There are families out there that need help. And we're going to share with you in just a minute that we are connecting with families that have requested our help. So we are definitely meeting a need that these families have specifically asked for. And so that's what we get to do. And so it's pretty exciting.
Well, here's the next thing. You get to choose your path with Symmetry. And for me, this is exciting because I chose the path of the owner track, which we're talking about right here. But this was the only option when I started.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. And now, there's a track here that is the flagship path for Symmetry. But now you have the ownership path where you can build your own agency inside of Symmetry and not buy it, but actually, because of their hard work and efforts, become an agency owner. And there's no other companies out there that are like we are that actually do that, as far as I'm aware. So that's pretty exciting. And that's the track that I chose. But they've added a couple other options for the folks that just want to become a producer, just want to be able to make a great living helping other people with mortgage protection, the different products that we carry and offer, and still be able to increase their commissions and structure throughout their time with Symmetry. So it's exciting that they actually have additional options. Again, the second one's a producer track. And then I believe the next one here would be the owner and producer. And then you can actually produce and become an owner and create a lifestyle like nothing else out there.
It's true. Wow.
And is you taking over here, or is this still me?
Yeah, it's still you. Go for it.
All right.
How do we find our clients?
Just making sure. So how do we find our clients? This is probably, for me, one of the biggest reasons that I came over to Symmetry is because they generate 10,000 leads every week on average. They're leads. My old company that I work for, we purchased internet leads, and our close ratio was about 3%.
Wow.
So talking about spending all your time trying to find somebody that wants to buy from you, to whereas our leads, the closing ratio is so much different. So we have some of the best leads in the industry. On average, 3,000 new leads are added to inventory each week. I know they said there's over 1 million total bonus leads available. I know in the state of Arizona, last time I looked, there was almost 30,000. So yeah, it's just crazy. So they really, provide the best leads, and they subsidize our lead program. So they're actually picking up some of the costs for us, which again is a super, super good thing to help us out.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I mean, these leads are so good, and they're for like different types too, so like if I'm doing debt-free life, then I'm going to get debt-free life leads. So I'm going to talk to people that have specifically asked for help with debt-free life. So today I talked to a lady and she was like, oh yeah, I saw this online and it looks great. I want to do this. Well, that's why I'm talking to you. Let's get it done. And then there are families that want mortgage protection and families that want final expense. And so we get to be really targeted in who we talk to. And that's how we get that time, right, Jeff? Like we get that time where, hey, we're talking to those people that really want help. And so then that other time, hey, I can take my kid to basketball practice and get to watch him. And, and so it just gives you that time and that, work-life balance that's just, so elusive.
Yeah, and it's really flip-flop from the industry. Most people in our industry spend 80% of their time prospecting and 20% of their time, if they're lucky, with their clients, and ours is reversed. We spend 20% of our time, calling set appointments, and 80% of our time sitting in front of our customers. So it's just, and it allows us to have that time and freedom to spend time with our families. So
for sure.
Absolutely.
For sure. So here, how do we find them? So, we kind of mentioned that all the time, but, we're so excited, Jeff, we keep jumping ahead. But, they would do, a lot of direct mail. But, like I was saying recently, a lot of my debt-free life leads and people that I talk to, they've seen ads on the internet, on Facebook. Everybody's on Facebook, right? And so they're seeing it on Facebook and then I get connected with them. And so, it's just something that they've seen in kind of real life. And then they're talking to a real person and I share my story and, all of a sudden we're best friends and, and I'm helping them get out of debt. So, it's really great when we get to connect with these families and have that personal connection, because we're reaching out to people who have asked for help. And so that really does just make a big difference. And so here, how do we support our agents? I feel like that's just one thing that I love here about Symmetry. From when I stepped in here in April 2019, knowing absolutely nothing about Symmetry, there was a system for me to be successful. Just like you had said earlier, Jeff, it's just turnkey. All I got to do is just walk in, and if I follow this system, it's going to be life-changing for my family. And the reality is it has been life-changing for my family. We've got this amazing sales system, leads, assistance in marketing, recruiting. I've got a Facebook page for my debt-free life, and everything on there is from Symmetry. I just kind of get it from the website. It's all free. And I use that, to share on Facebook, and I've got my, the leads. And so it's just kind of like, I feel like I'm set up for nothing but success. Am I just willing to put in the work and follow through? Yeah. And I am. So it's working. And then of course you've got that ongoing support. And that's one thing that I love about the Cook Agency is we definitely support each other, care for each other, are here for each other to spur each other on to greatness. And amazing training calls, whether that's our national calls or with the Cook Agency, daily huddle ups. There's just a lot of support for someone. You don't have to come here and be a lone wolf. We're ready to welcome you in the fold, and we want to see your success. There's not a competitive spirit here, which I just love. It's just all about, hey, how can we encourage every single person to be at their best? Yeah.
You're definitely not in this, you're in this business for yourself and your family, but you're not in this business by yourself.
No.
That really is the beauty, just a team effort. And it's really exciting to see other people that their financial situation has nothing to do with yours, yet they're willing to spend time and help you.
Oh, 100%. And it's, true, genuine help. And, they're just some of the kindest people I know, to be honest. But, some other tools that we have available here, I guess I'm kind of that millennial generation. And so I love technology. I want to leverage technology to make my business as profitable as possible. And again, the great thing is I don't have to do that on my own. Symmetry's got all of these amazing tools and technology that I have access to because I'm a Symmetry agent. So I don't have to go and create all this stuff. I just get to use what's available and leverage that for my business. And so instead of kind of starting everything from the ground up and pushing and, trying and all this, hey, I've got an owner's circle, which is a website. So there's my website. Virtual mentor, like I was saying, I came in, I knew nothing about insurance, but virtual mentor, what I could do when I was in a home with the family, of course now, over Zoom, but when it's like, okay, I've got this medical condition, or I've got this restriction, or I'm looking for this type of insurance, you just can go, check a couple of boxes, and then boop, out pops, hey, these would be some good products to consider for this particular family. And then it sends you to links to quote, and then links to do the application. And so it just makes it very easy to kind of get on board and get started. And then once you've done that for a while, when you're talking with people, oh yeah, I can kind of see this is what we would do. But if you come across something that's new or you're not sure, you've got this virtual mentor that that you can do that on your own. And so I loved the virtual mentor myself. And then Power Dialer, that just helps you kind of keep track of all your leads, and as you're dialing, kind of keep track of everything, so you don't have to do it all on paper, but there's automatically the system is keeping up with all of that for you. So those are some great tools. Virtual Assistant, that's for kind of some of our leaders that use that to help with lead allocation and that sort of thing. This is something that's new, right? It's just been happening the past couple of months where we merged actually with Quility. And so what they do now is, so our Symmetry agents primarily focus usually on like final expense, mortgage protection, mainly. And so we've always offered, these advanced market products like annuities, IULs, and et cetera, but it takes a lot more extra training, and sometimes it can take longer to kind of get processed and get paid. And so Quility has come on board, and they have all these agents that are here just to do those things. And the amazing thing is we get to share in those profits without really doing anything extra, just because we're partnering together. And so that's just another way that they're supporting agents, is helping us take advantage of these advanced market products without necessarily having to go through all the training and figure out all the minute details. The Quility Member Services helps take care of that. We also have amazing leadership development programs. So one of the things I love that people say about Symmetry is that we're actually a personal development company that just happens to sell insurance. So one of the things that I noticed quickly about Symmetry is we're reading. Here in the Cook Agency, we have a book of the month. We're reading to improve kind of ourselves, not just so that we can make more sales, but hey, reading these books has helped me kind of examine myself. How can I be a better mother? How can I be a better wife? How can I be a better friend in my community? How can I have more of an impact with those in my sphere of influence? And so they're really interested in developing who we are as people, because they know that if we're stronger, then everyone's going to benefit from that. And so Connect is for specifically geared towards women in Symmetry. Thrive is just some really great like mindfulness habits about how we can be really intentional in our daily lives. Giant is for our leaders. They really just work on helping our leaders be the healthiest leaders that they can be. And then when you reach the level of agency owner, which Jeff is about to share here in just a minute, they've got a whole training for you. Again, you don't have to figure it out on your own. They're ready and they're able. They've got a system available that's all designed to help you succeed. Because here in Symmetry, no one in Symmetry that like is in your upline or anything like that, none of them receive anything unless you are successful. All right. And so it's not about, it's not about anything other than just encouraging one another to be the best that we can be. And, this is something that, we all love that. We all love how, it's a great culture. It's wonderful. But at the end of the day, it is a job. And, Jeff, I do expect to get paid for my job. I don't know about you.
Yes, please.
But, my kids, they keep eating. They're 7 and 9, and I'm like, I've got to do more debt-free life just so I can keep up with our grocery bill, because they're eating more and more. But last August, they actually increased our commission levels. And so a new agent used to start off at 60%, and now a new agent starts off at 70%. And there's an opportunity every 2 months to get an increase in your commission. So every 2 months you can get a raise. And all you do that by is you do that by producing. So kind of by doing your job, you get a raise, which is pretty sweet. And you can do that. You can see we got the producer track or the owner track. There's options and ways that you can get all the way up to 120% contract with Symmetry, and then that's not even including the bonuses. And as you'll hear later, like all of this is money that's paid directly to you, directly deposited into your bank account by the insurance carriers, and so everything here at Symmetry, the way that the owners have designed it is for your success. You can be part-time, you can be full-time, and so Jeff's going to share with you kind of what some of those specific numbers could look like.
And let me just share something real quick before I get into this on that increase that they gave us here last August.
Yeah.
They gave us a 10% from 60 to 70. My prior company that I worked for, mm-hmm. they were in the top 10 property casualty companies in the country. I won't mention the name. And in 10 years, 3 times they cut our commissions.
Wow. And
this company comes out and increases commissions.
During 2020.
Yes. Yes. So I just want you guys, this industry, a lot of companies have been cutting commissions, and they gave us from 60 to 70% start rate all the way up to the top and raise that by 10%. So that's a big deal. When a lot of companies now are taking away, they're giving out more because it truly is about the agents and the teams and the people that we help. So anyway, that was pretty exciting.
I love hearing that, Jeff, just because like I said, like I didn't come from insurance. So really Symmetry is all that I know. And I'm just like, wow, it's great. And so kind of hearing comparisons, it's always good to just kind of be affirmed in like, wow, yeah, I really did make the right choice.
Yeah.
And just so thankful that I did get connected with Symmetry. Thank you, Steve Devine,
That's right.
for sharing the plan with me.
Yeah. Now I get to talk about my favorite thing, the money, because that's why we show up for whatever we do, right? So we can get paid.
That's right.
So how do you get paid? This kind of gives you an example of what a part-time agent. Our part-time agents are working, 15 to 20 hours a week. They're on average doing about 6 place sales per month. And at the starting contract level, 70%, our annual premium average is about $1,000. And you're going to get 75% of that commission right up front. Okay, which on this next page is actually going to go into the numbers here for you. So if you take those numbers, part-time agent, remember this is part-time, $6,000 in premium, 70% commission to start. You're going to earn $4,200. They're going to advance you. So you're going to get this policy submitted and issued. And before the first payment really is taken from the customer, they're going to advance you 75% of your commission for the year of $3,150 on those policies. That's an annual income of $37,800 on a part-time basis. That doesn't count the additional 25%, which is at the bottom that you'll get after they pay you after 9 months. So you're going to earn $50,000, a little over $50,000 on a part-time basis based on these numbers. A lot of full-time people are making less than $50,000 a year, and this is a part-time agent.
I mean, Jeff, I was a teacher for over a decade. I don't think I ever saw 50,000. Yeah. Being real honest there. And I loved it, but that's the reality there. And I was definitely not working part-time.
Yeah, no, teachers are definitely underpaid. A whole different story, but
yeah.
So here's more like a full-time agent's going to work 30 to 35 hours a week. They're going to place 15 to 20 sales, applications per month, which is, 4 or 5 a week. You're going to, as time goes on, you're going to work your way up in commissions, average of 85% contract level. Again, $1,000 average, 75% carry advance, just like with the part-time agent, no difference there. And then that's going to earn you $15,000 in annual premium. So you're going to get paid 85% of that, or $12,750. And again, they're going to advance you 75% of that, or a little over $9,500, or $114,000, working 30 to 35 hours a week. And then when you're the other 25% kicks in, you're looking at $153,000 first year compensation.
Yeah.
And going out and helping people.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, go for it.
This talks about what makes, excuse me, my screen here, Symmetry different. They do have the exclusive agency ownership program. I'm super excited about that, of building, an agency for my family. And that's something that really drew me in, because I wanted to have ownership on what I was doing. I didn't want a job. I wanted a career where I could own something. The Symmetry provides that with their agents. It's true contractual ownership. And you get the ability to have time and money by building an agency. You can pass the business on to a loved one. You can actually sell your agency after becoming an agency owner. So there's a lot of opportunities here. Not that you would ever sell it, that would be crazy. But to have the opportunity to pass it on to my family, my kids, that's a big deal, because there's some agencies that create a lot of income with Symmetry, and they're going to pass their income on, like I hope to, for generations to come.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I'm already looking forward to it. My boys, we have a debt-free life sticker on our car, and so because sometimes it's parked in the driveway, and so they're like telling the neighborhood kids they're playing with, like, do your parents want to pay off their house in less than 9 years? So I'm like, yep, training them young.
I love it. That's perfect. Okay, and here's what really makes Symmetry different. Again, talked about this, building your own agency. So this is just an example. So let's say you earn your way up to a 95% commission rate. You bring on 3 other agents. You help them train. They build up an agency. They're writing 80% commission. So you get that 15% difference between your contract level at 95% and theirs at 80%. So that's going to create a 15% commission spread for you. It does not take away from what they're earning. They've earned an 80% commission. You've earned a 95%, so you get the difference between that 80 and 95% there on everything that they write. So agency owner, $50,000 agency owner, your personal production, let's say you're doing $15,000 in personal production, you're at 95%. The rest of your agency is doing $35,000. You're going to get that 15% spread over what they're doing, and that again, 75% carrier advance is going to bring you your commission for what you're doing. At 95% is going to earn you a little over $10,000 a month.
Wow. And
then what they're writing, their $35,000 at 15% override is going to create another, almost $4,000 a month for you, which is a little over $14,000 a month, and on an annual basis, $175,000. The exciting part about that is that $4,000 a month, you didn't do anything. You help these agents. You help these agents, don't take it wrong, but you've created a passive residual income for you and your family. Mm-hmm. And then again, with the total income with the back end pays a little over $200,000 a year in income. So now we're going to get into the pinball money, monopoly money, whatever you want to call it. Executive vice president. That's a $500,000 a month. For the example, agency, you're not doing any production now. You've built a team, you're helping your agents, you're helping them succeed, because that's really what this is all about. There's a saying out there, if you help enough people get what they want, you're going to get what you want. And I think that was Zig Ziglar, but not 100% sure on that. I love Zig Ziglar. But on a $500,000 agency with a 15% spread, 75% carrier advance, this kind of shows an example there. The next screen is going to show you what kind of income you're looking at. At a 15% commission spread, that's $56,000 a month, not a year, but $56,000 a month.
That's crazy.
I know, it's exciting. Yeah. Times 12 months is $675,000. Again, with your back end, the other 25%, you're looking at $900,000 a year in compensation. Plus, there's additional bonuses and such as well from the company directly.
Yeah. Man.
Oh yeah, there we go. Now the bonuses show up, 228,000 in bonuses on average. So now you're looking at a 7-figure income, over $1 million a year. And yes, there are many agents with Symmetry making this kind of money.
That's true.
I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah. And so of course, you're not going to come in and in 3 months be making over $1 million a year. We're not saying that, because the reality is to make that kind of money, you do have to put in the work. We love what we do. But I don't know about you, Jeff. I work hard. Like, I'm tired at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I put in a hard day's work, and I'm excited about what I get to do, but I know that I'm working towards my goals, and I'm not going to get there. I'm not going to get there by accident, right?
No.
So anyways, here, this also just kind of shows what can happen if you decide, hey, this is the place for me. I'm ready to kind of jump in. I want to make an impact for my community, for my family, for myself here at Symmetry. And so the great thing is our owners realized, if we can get people in and get them excited and quickly, they're going to be more successful in the long term. And so just like they always do, they figure out a way to just help agents. And so that has been with a fast track bonus, which means that if you come in your first 90 days, you can earn up to an additional $12,500 just by doing your job. All right. So with different carriers, you write a certain amount with different carriers, you're just going to get a bonus. Like, you don't have to do anything extra. You just write the production. And if you, for a 90 days, you can have an invitation to our Symmetry destination trip. Usually those are just the absolute top agents in the country, one of whom you're going to hear from in just a few moments. And so these new agents that come on and then just kind of come out strong out the gate, they're invited to come and participate in that trip. And so actually, shout out to our very own DJ Robinson here at the Cook Agency, who came in, was a new agent, and he, if you're wondering, okay, well, is this something that can actually be done? Yeah, he's going on our Symmetry destination trip because he came in strong. And anyway, so, we want people to be successful. We don't want you to come in here and struggle. But if you're going to come in and work, we're going to do everything that we can to see you be successful. And that's what we're about here at Symmetry. This is huge. So agent perks. So, when I started, they had a free life insurance policy. So when you came on at Symmetry, they offered you with one of our carriers where the first year of premiums are covered up to $250,000 for a 30-year term. And so that's just something that automatically you have. And then last year in August, not only did they give us a commission raise, but now all of a sudden, we're independent contractors working for this company. Now we have health insurance. And, Jeff, when they said that on the call, I honestly cried. Because we had just made the decision that, okay, I am going to go full time here. It's so wonderful in so many ways, but this was a concern of ours for Philip and I, my husband, of health insurance. And we said, you know what, we're going to make it work. We're going to figure it out. And then there was the call. They said, oh yeah, by the way, we're going to offer health insurance. So I was like, oh my goodness. Man, so much, half the cost of what it would be at the marketplace. We've been, doing our regular checkups, having little doctor visits, and it's been great. I just give them my card. It's accepted like all other, because it is regular insurance. And, so it's just been exciting to see that, they really, when we say that Symmetry takes care of agents, like, they really take care of agents, and they want you to be successful. They want to help you take care of your family. I could talk about that all day, obviously. I'll move on.
Yeah, health insurance is a great deal. I just signed up for it, got to use it, and the price is, it is half the cost of anything out there. It's really a great program.
Oh, it's so great. And so we kind of mentioned briefly, new agents can earn a destination trip with Symmetry kind of right off the bat. But then not only Symmetry has a destination trip, but all the different carriers have trips. And so different carriers go to different places, and so I mainly write with one carrier, so I'm ready for I'm making my way to earn it for this year. And so there's all these things that you can do just for doing your job. Like, you go to all these exotic, beautiful places, and the insurance companies pay for it. You don't have to pay anything. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about traveling a little bit. So who are we looking for? If you're thinking, wow, this sounds great. Excuse me. This sounds great. Am I, is this a place for me? So here's who we're looking for. We're looking for people that are ready to listen. Okay, that are ready to listen, kind of take in what's going on around you, from your mentor, from the Symmetry founders, from the Symmetry system, people that are kind of actively listening and considering all that's around them, somebody that's coachable, somebody that's ready to be a student, ready to have that posture of a lifelong learner, to come in and learn our system so that you can be successful. Again, someone that's ready to work hard. If you come in and just think, oh, I'm going to get all of this success and it's just going to happen like that, then this probably is not the place for you, because we are looking for people that are willing to put in the time and the effort to be successful here at Symmetry. And so associate, we've got a lot of amazing events here at Symmetry, and the reality is you don't have to go to anything. You are an independent contractor. You work for yourself essentially, but not by yourself, right? And so, if you want to be successful here, you have to associate with others. And so you've got to plug in and hear what's going on. And, I know on days when I might be feeling a little like, okay, it's been kind of hard lately, and then I plug into a conference call and I get some ideas based on how I hear other people are being successful, and I go apply that, and then my business grows and expands. And so we're looking for people that are excited about associating with others. That's a key aspect for a Symmetry agent. So if you don't like associating, then Symmetry is probably not the place for you. Change. Be willing to change and personally develop. If we want different, we have to become different. And so just a willingness to be like, hey, this part of me is holding me back. I've got this mindset or this attitude, and it's holding me back. And so, we're looking for people that are willing to say, hey, I've identified this, and it's not something I'm going to make excuses for. It's something that I'm going to change so that I can be successful for my family and for my community. And so here, I'll leave that. Sorry, that was a little sneak peek of something that's coming. But anyway, so Jeff and I have shared a lot. As you can tell, I'm a talker. So, but what we do have is we have some amazing agents from the Cook Agency that are going to share. So you're not just hearing from me and Jeff. And so I have the privilege of introducing my mentor, my upline, and I'm just so incredibly thankful for this man. And from when I came into the business, I remember the first time he called me on the phone was just so encouraging. I was kind of taken aback, like, wow, he's so supportive and he's so like for me, and he doesn't even know me. But just kind of from the very get-go has just encouraged me every step of the way. When I told him I was coming on full time, he was just ready to do anything he could to help me be successful, and continues to do that to this day. And I'm so excited that he just made agency owner. So proud to be on his team. And so I'm just thrilled to introduce Mark Newbauer.
Thank you so much, Betsy. And likewise, such a pleasure. Like, I love this team, this family. Guys, if you're just tuning into this and getting to know Symmetry, this is as real as it gets. I'm really glad to have everybody on checking this out. Guys, I'm going to be, with respect to everybody's time and schedule, and manage expectations, I'm going to be quick with this. But, what I wanted to say really quickly is that Symmetry is designed for people that have drive, they have work ethic, and they just need a system, a proven system to plug themselves into. The income, as you can see, can get pretty outrageous here. when I came to Symmetry. I've been here 4.5 years. I've been here part-time from day one. And when I started, I was not in a great place financially. I had taken on a little too many entrepreneurial things without thinking about how I'm going to feed the family. And I decided to sign up with Symmetry and get my license so that I could make money helping families. But I was really only looking for a couple extra $1,000 a month. I was living in a modest home in the Midwest, and that's about all I needed extra to support what I was doing. And lo and behold, I find we've got an amazing culture, we've got a proven system, and we've got an opportunity to create legacy income here. So not only 6 figures plus for you and your family, but that can be passed on generationally. So, where can you go with Symmetry? I like to say you can go as far as you're willing to grow. And a lot of that goes to what Betsy was saying in terms of plugging in here. We've got some major electricity here that will fuel your business in a big way. And all you've got to do is plug into it. So, whether you're looking to come here part-time to supplement an income, or maybe you really are looking to build a multi-million-dollar empire. I don't say that tongue in cheek, guys. It's possible. One of our top guys here is legit netting 30 to 40,000 a day passively. And he's making so much, he had to move to Puerto Rico last year for tax purposes. Not kidding. So you can build a multi-million-dollar empire here. And he's one of many, crazy enough. Or you can make a couple extra $1,000 a month. The point is, you've got to be consistent. If you're going to do this, make that commitment. You can't dip your toe in here. You can work part-time, you can work full-time, but you can't work sometimes, okay? And I say that from the heart because I want everybody to have what's possible here at Symmetry, and we want to give it to you, and it's there for the taking if you're willing to put in the work. But the one thing, and I know this resonates with you, Betsy, the one most important thing I think that anybody can keep in mind when building success here at Symmetry is being consistent in your business week to week. Yeah. Consistency builds momentum, and momentum leads to success. I forget what Yoda says about the dark side, but it's kind of the antithesis of that. So be careful. Guys, I'm going to pass this on now to my buddy. This guy's amazing. Isn't it funny how you have to lead up? You can't just say their name. You have to do a whole. No, seriously though, I love this guy. He's one of my good friends here at Symmetry, and on his way to becoming one of my best friends as we get to associate soon in Orlando. But he and his wife just became agency owners with me last month. We're super excited about our new responsibilities, privileges, and all that comes with that. And from the heart, guys, this guy's amazing. If you're on his team or coming on his team with he and Jordan, you're in for the ride of your life because they know what they're doing and they're just getting started. But welcome Jared Gillum, everybody. Or not. You just move your mouth and I'll talk, Jared.
I don't know why that worked out or didn't work out. Sorry. No, that would have worked perfect, Mark. I appreciate you. That was really good. So I'm Jared Gillum here with the wonderful Jordan Gillum along with me. We were actually not married before we came here. That was kind of one of the requirements before we hit agency owner. No, I'm kidding. But nonetheless, we actually just made agency owner, like Mark said, Director Chris Cook here at Symmetry. And I have had the pleasure of kind of being able to share my story really quick with you all. And everyone will have their own story. And I love, once we actually get to do an actual conference, those stories up on stage of how everyone made it to where they are is always one of my favorite parts in there. But really quickly, when me and Jordan came here, Jordan is a never been a stranger kind of person. And I am almost the exact opposite of that. I should say I was. So she did amazingly. I didn't. I actually left. I went back to being a sous chef. That was something that I knew I was good at and knew I could actually bring in money. When I realized that I didn't want to be in a hot kitchen anymore, and I really liked cooking actually in my backyard versus in a hot kitchen like that, we came back and we started to sit down and figure out how we were kind of work together. And I think one of the most powerful things that me and Jordan never heard, and I know it's going to blow everyone out of the water, what have you tried? We went to a conference. We were asking, what's the secret? How do we work together? What do we do? How do we find our lanes? what are we doing wrong? And somebody that we respect highly said, what have you tried? And when we couldn't come up with something, we knew obviously that was our problem, right? So if you're coming here with a spouse, looking to work with a spouse, or if you're just coming here, I say have the support of your spouse, because if both of you guys know exactly what the vision is and exactly what the goal is, getting there is going to be so much easier, and getting through some of the walls that are going to pop up inevitably going through any kind of business whatsoever are going to be so much easier to get through when both of you are on the same page. So if the information is present, clear, concise with both of you guys, I think that's the easiest way. And that's exactly how me and Jordan figured out how to figure out like what she was good at and figure out what I was good at, and kind of like tackle this business together in being on the same team rather than competing. And so I think that's very summarized and very simple how we got to where we are, not just, you know, a lot of hard work, you know, that goes into it too, but it was a lot of communication. And I think that goes along with building a team as well. So if agency owner, if building a business, if anything like that is on your horizon, if that's something you want to accomplish, getting good at communication, masterfully, one of the most primary things I would say. So I get the pleasure of passing this on to one of me and Jordan's most fun people to kind of go hang out with on vacation. It is a blast to go hang out with this guy. He, in his first year, I think in his very first full year of running business here, he deposited over $240,000 in his bank account by himself without a team. So you can only imagine what he's going to do with a team. Insane. And if you just saw the fast track bonuses there, you can get to Costa Rica, and I would, because he's going to be going, and he's a blast to go hang out with. So he goes by a couple different names, sometimes Smokin' Joe, sometimes Pompano Joe, just depending on what state you're in. But nonetheless, here's Joe Martinez.
Thank you. That's funny. Only when we're on vacation, I'm fun. I'm fun during work too. Thank you guys. My name's Joe Martinez. I've been with Symmetry for about getting close to 3 years now. I get the privilege of talking about building a business here. I want to keep it short but sweet. And really the most important part out of everything y'all have heard here, guys, is, you know, the fact that you can come in here and have time and money, but realize that that's only going to come if you're working on both parts of your business. And that's going to be production, and the other half is going to be building a team. Okay. Stability comes when you build a team, because if you come out the gate with a partner already, you know, a partner in crime, somebody to be able to go out there and produce with you, they're creating an income when you're not, right? When you start getting commissioned off of your team's production, it changes everything, because it brings stability to your lead investment. It brings stability to your recruiting investment. It brings stability to your income, right? Because if you don't produce and they do, you still made income. If you produced and they didn't, you made income, right? It's all about getting consistent. It's probably one of the biggest fears of when we come into this commissioned only position of how we're going to do it. How am I going to produce an income for my family, for my bills? Guys, it's going to be by building a team. Okay. When you do that, you're able to stabilize your income and be very consistent, because it's not just based on your production, right? And it makes everything so much easier, because it's not just you contributing to your income coming in. And it also helps you with your raises. It also helps you build, and it also makes you better at what you do. Let me tell you, because when you're building, you're coaching, right? So you're talking about our culture, you're talking about, and you're helping your team, you know, learn about products, learn about, you know, dialing, learn about running appointments. It makes you so much better. You know, Betsy's a teacher. Who's the best people, you know, to teach somebody? The teachers, right? Because they're the ones practicing, talking about it, and doing it every single day. And it also increases your energy and your culture, because you're talking about it to more people, and you're living, breathing what you want your team to do. And that's really short, but that's going to give you a lot of strength, guys. The best way to recruit, if you're coming in, is Project 100. Okay. And that's just simply reaching out to somebody, showing them a video that you probably saw when you came, or that somebody showed you before you hopped on here. But we help you build your team. And that's something that was huge, because when I came in, the people above me helped me start building a team. So you want to be stable, and you want to have a business that consistently brings in income. Build a team from the beginning, and build a team right away is what I will help teach y'all. Also, one of the biggest things to that is we want everyone here to stay. Okay, we bring you on because we saw something in you, and we think this would be a good opportunity, and then you think it's a good opportunity for you, right? There's a couple, I would say there's 2 key points to staying in the business. Okay, one, I want y'all to write this down, please. You are not a recruit unless you have a recruit. What does that mean? You are not going to stay in the business. And these are just facts, guys, because we want y'all to make it here. If you want to make it here, you need to have somebody underneath you, because it's going to make you stable, and it's going to teach you our culture. Okay. So make sure you are not a recruit unless you have a recruit. Okay. And then we say that with love. The next one is getting to our conference. Okay. It's just proven facts. The people that make it to our conference make it here forever. Not forever, right? But they make it a lot longer than most people. Why? The biggest thing for me, and I always talk about it, is mental edification. Okay. We're on Zoom. We get it. Somebody hired you over the phone, but you want to meet Symmetry. You need to write these dates down, guys. March 24th and 25th, Orlando, Florida. And you get to meet Symmetry. You get to meet us. You get to shake our hands. We'll have masks on, but you'll get to meet us. You'll get to learn about us. You'll really see what Symmetry is. It's mental edification. You have any doubts? Because that's the biggest barrier that I ever hear people, or I see when people just quit on Symmetry, right? It was they didn't have enough belief. You want to go get the belief? Meet us March 24th and 25th in Orlando, Florida. That's the key. Put your phone to it. It'll help you register to get to conference. But get with your upline guys. Let them know this is something you want to do, or let them know it's not something you want to do, right? But if it is, get with the person that brought you to this corporate overview. Get registered to conference. Okay. Find out, where we're going to stay. We got room blocks and everything, so it makes it easy for everybody. But you want to know 2 keys, guys, that are going to keep you in this business. And that's going to be building a team right away. And that's going to be getting to this conference. Okay. That's all I got. Love y'all.
Thank you all so much for coming and for participating. And if this is a place for you, like Joe was saying, get with the person that brought you here, and let's take those next steps, and you can make that positive impact for yourself, your family, and in your community. And anyways, have a great night. Thanks for joining us.
Good night.